You can select good area, but there is nobody who are able to supervise. Also another problem. Okay, because selecting a sub area and getting supervision also both are important. Get the supervision who can provide you, okay, who have knowledge, because you want to learn from the supervisor who have knowledge. Okay, so in selecting, okay, you have to select what is most interest to you. Okay, most interest to you. Okay, how to select the area and sub area? I've given you a method how to do that. Okay, so it must be an area that you passionate about it. You like it because you are going to deal with this area for 2 semesters. Okay, about 9 months or about 12 months, depend on which semester you register. Okay, 2 semesters. Ensure your study is manageable within the available time. Make sure it is what you choose is manageable with the time and resources available. Okay, how much time you have? Okay, and then what resources you have. Resources here can be equipment, it could be, okay, if the research require purchasing some material, is there funding available? Okay, you need to also to consider, okay, do you have funding for this area of research? Okay, is there anybody has done it before? Okay, does your supervisor has done this research? Okay, so it is very important to make sure it is the time is sufficient, and also resource also, and also you can check the equipment available. Okay, equipment available in the laboratories. I think for those in aeronautical, you have big laboratory there. Okay, the aero labs is quite very good. Okay, and also in mechanical, there are so many laboratories. Okay. Okay, so some research are doing simulation where you do not need, there is a need for having hardwares. Okay, you are dealing with modeling, with mathematics, with computing simulations. Okay, some research might be involve case studies outside the company. Okay, that's depend on your availability of your resource. If you are working somewhere, okay, you might be doing your research in your previous company, or maybe if you are on study leave, you may use your workplace as your case study. Okay? Your interest should be most important determinant for the selection. Your interest. Okay, what is your interest? Okay, you must have interest in that. The other consideration should be level of expertise needed. Okay, is there any expertise to assist you? Okay, and also relevance. Okay, what you are doing, is it relevant or not? Because some area might be obsolete. Okay, you need to choose a current area in the research, so that people are interested to read your findings, and if you want to publish, it will be acceptable. It should be relevant. Okay, because some area are becoming obsolete now. Okay, so how do you know that it's obsolete? Yes, you need to trace back. Yeah, I give you an example. In industrial engineering, we call it product life cycle. Okay, product life cycle. For example, any products will go through. My pen is not doing well today. I don't know why. It's giving this. Okay, this is not the what I want. Okay, so same thing in the area of research. You can follow the introduction phase. Okay, you can follow the growth phase. You can go to maturity phase. Okay, you can have this decline phase. Okay, previously I mentioned this to industrial engineering students. The decline phase, for example, if you want to do research on how to produce a good media for computer, in the past people are using floppy disks. Yeah, I think maybe some of you familiar what is floppy disk. Okay, there is people are not using floppy disk now. So if you do research to improve how to make a floppy disk, people don't use anymore floppy disk. People are now save their data into cloud. Okay, into portable hard disks. Okay, even some computer do not have the CDs now. Okay, so if you say I want to do research how to produce a better CD DVD, for example, CD. So no more anymore. Nobody is interested. So it's not relevant. Okay. So if you say that I want to do research to improve how to produce a typewriter, okay, people don't use typewriter anymore now. Okay, maybe very rare people using that. So typewriter is not in demand. Okay, so you need to go more on advanced. For example, fuel efficiency. Okay, maybe hybrid technology for engines. Okay, solar energy. Is sustainable engineering. Okay, because now we have problem with climate change. Okay, so it should be relevant. Or maybe even looking into how to address a COVID-19. Okay, in your respective area. And now people cannot fly because of COVID. Maybe in your area of aeronautical engineering, how to make people flying safely. This is a current challenge. People not flying because they are scared that we are not safe. And availability of data need to be considered when you want to get the data. It's very important that you should be able to plan what are the source of data. Is it coming from a laboratory experiment? Is it coming from database? Is it coming from a survey? Or some research, they are lucky enough, there are data available from databases. So what they need is to find a better solution for that solving that problem. And also need to consider ethical issues. Okay? Ethical issues is very important. Also, some research may require human, as a subject. So ethical issue is important when it's related to human, related to society. Okay, we need to get clearance, okay, from the ethical aspect. How to summarize your literature, your reviews, okay? It's very important that you do it systematically, okay? Do it systematically. Okay, how to summarize, okay? How to summarize, because we have a lot of information, how to summarize it, okay? So the best way to do is, okay, me personally, I would like if you can convert into mind mapping or to classification trees, okay? So it is better that if you can put it into a mind mapping, for example, here, mind map, okay, through map, and or it could be from trees, okay, classification trees that I showed just now. Okay, this is example of mind mapping. Okay, okay, mind mapping is commonly used for brainstorming. When you want to have a lot of ideas, you put it in mind mapping. Rather than you what we call it listing the ideas. Okay, instead of listing the ideas in a paper, but we sketch it in terms of graphically. So this is basically your area. Okay, for example, I just say as just now, for example, statistical process control. Okay, at the beginning, I do not know what is the shape of my tree, so I just put it. Okay, what is the area? Maybe I say here is the design. Okay, design of control chart, and then I go to what is economic design. Okay, maybe here is control limits design. Okay, statistical control limits. I'm looking for that. So it doesn't make sense to you what is this, but actually what I'm showing is you need to what do you call it?
Excuse me, Doctor. Huh? Can you give us another example? For example, mechanical engineering.
Okay.
Or engineering.
Engineering. This is engineering, industrial engineering.
It's a kind of engineering.
yeah, industrial engineering. You don't understand this?
Actually, no.
You don't understand. Okay.
Special.
This statistical process control. Okay, I will, because in this group, you have industrial engineering student. We have aero.
Mechanical.
You have mechanical. So since I'm industrial engineering, okay, maybe more example of industrial engineering. But anyway, I'll try to give you some mechanical later on. Okay.
Okay.
Just be patient. Okay. Be patient.
To get better understanding.
Okay. Okay. Let's say if you don't like this, you can say, for example, you are looking for fuel efficiency. You understand fuel?
Yes.
Fuel efficiency.
Okay.
Okay. So this is relevant to what? Automotive or aeronautic also?
Automotive.
Yes,
Okay. Fuel efficiency. So you start reading. Okay, what are the area related to fuel efficiency? It could be, maybe you can say here, engine design. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So others related to engine, what else? In the sub area of engine, are you looking for what is your sub area engine?
Internal combustion engine.
Okay, internal combustion. Internal combustion. Okay, what could be others related to engine design? Efficiency, yeah. What do you have? Injection, fuel injection. What do you call it?
Fuel injection, yes. Fuel injection system.
Okay, fuel injection system. Okay, so you can further go, and what are the sub area in this? Okay, even here you can go more. Okay, can have more Bible. Okay, so this is engine design. So maybe somebody is looking into what do you call it, aerodynamic. Okay, aerodynamic design. It could be, I think we have noise again. Okay. Okay, so it could be in terms of looking into aerodynamic design, the shape of the car. Okay, maybe you are looking for the back side, front side. So this is what I mean, meaning that you are looking which branch. Okay, now it doesn't look hierarchical arrangement, it's just a map. Okay, so but it giving you graphically to visualize, okay, to visualize sub area. Okay, so you can see actually where is the gap, to see the gap, where to focus, okay, actually where you are interested. Okay, so this mind mapping help you to see the boundaries, to the scope and limitation of the research. Okay, and then finally you say, okay, I want to do in fuel injection. Fuel injection. So, and then you go more deeper in this area and make another tree related to another mind mapping related to fuel injection. Is it okay? I hope that. Okay, if you have any question, just on your mic and ask, and then you can close your mic. Okay. Okay, so this is what I was explaining earlier. Okay, so I select this area. Okay, after I have from that mind mapping, and from that mind mapping, okay, it will be better if you arrange into classification tree. So this is classification tree. Okay. Classification tree. So it will be more organized, okay, more organized, because in the mind mapping initially just brainstorming and convert to this, okay, just to organize your ideas. Okay, so we have discussed this. Okay, and also this could be how you can question, in general. Okay, because when we are doing research, we need to ask who are doing the research, what they have done, when they have done it, you know, where and why. So this is just a probing question to give us more clearer understanding about Okay, the problem that you have chosen. Okay, before I proceed with that, okay, let me share with you another way of organizing information. Okay, I have it on my desktop. Share content. Microsoft. Okay, I put it here, Window Explorer. Here I go to, just a minute, let me show you another. Okay, do you see the what do you call it, work document on the screen now? Yes or no?
No.
Not yet.
Oh, I think
see now? You see now?
now we can. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so this is another way for you to summarize. Okay, some people they like it put in table. Also can, no problem. Summarize research. To summarize previous research. Okay, to summarize previous research. So when you read a paper, okay, you put it in a table. Also can. Who are the researchers? Okay, what are research problem that are investigated by the researcher? Okay, maybe you can put it. What are sub area? Especially you are at the beginning now. You need to know what are sub area of this. Okay, for example, just now combustion engine. Okay, what is it? Is it related to design or is it related to simulation, modeling? So you can also put type of research. Is it experimental research? Is it simulation research? And what are solution methodology? So this is briefly at the beginning, and maybe you can put a remark there, okay, for your own personal use. So instead of using mind mapping, you can also do it. It's depend on your how you do it based on your interest. Okay, and then you can proceed after that. Try to develop the classification of sub areas. Okay, classification of sub areas. So this is another example. For those in industrial engineering, they are familiar with lean manufacturing, for example. Okay, you can put what are sub areas and then find which branch that is you are interested. You need to know the gap. This is the opportunity where you compare previous work and what is needed. Okay, so you need to contribute some. Okay, maybe for master project, not so much new knowledge, but more on maybe new application or some improvement. But if you go for research degree, of course, expecting new knowledge. Okay, knowledge is generated when you go to deep research. So need to be able to establish what actually referred to as gap in the literature. So in doing literature, you need to identify what are the gaps. So of course, this is challenging. Okay, to be able to tell where is the gap. So there where your discussion with supervisor is very important. Maybe for this stage, you are tentatively identify the gap. Okay, you need to confirm with the supervisors and those who are familiar with the area, okay, the gap in the research. Because it's no use for us to do a research that has been done by others, okay, unless we're just learning how to do research. But to have publication and contribution, you need to identify that there is something new that has not been addressed by others. Okay, at least some aspect of it. It could be aspect of methodology to solve the same problem. It could be enhancing the problem in a new area, new perspective. Okay, you're mapping out your literature. Okay, is a major. Okay, mapping out literature is a major job itself. Okay, coming up with that classification tree is is one of the main activities actually. Okay, so it's not something that trivial, because you want to map out, okay, your area of interest there. So you need to be familiar who has done that. You need to be able to articulate what previous studies have shown, and use this as a mean pointing toward things that are not known yet. Okay, what are not known yet, what are yet to be investigated. Look for further research and on something or others. Okay, use this as starting point. How you should rely on others to solve the problem. So at the beginning, you may just do what others have done, but after that, you extend that what do you call it, research gap. You need to start somewhere, because you cannot start something totally new at the beginning. Okay, look at further research. Okay, normally in a publication, at the end of the paper is mentioned suggestion for further work. Okay, so this is where you should focus. Okay, whenever you read anything, write out your summary of what they have told you and what still do not know. Okay, so it's good to have like a logbook, okay, for you to summarize whenever what you read. A systematic arrangement of information is one of the outcome that you should be able to get during doing your research. You need to be very systematic, otherwise everything is all over the place. You cannot find the previous paper that you have read and so on. You need to organize in your computer system. Okay, you can use it, organizing your folders. In the past, people were organizing the hard copies, but now it's much easier. You can organize the folders. Okay, keep the folders according to the maybe research issues. It could be the sub area in the research. Okay, depending, maybe you organize based on name of authors. The same authors, you may find that they have published several papers in the area. You can create one specific folder based on the name of that prominent researcher in the area that you choose. Okay, especially when you're coming very close to the area that you really interested, you will find that only few names, okay, the key researchers in that area. Okay, that is where you are very comfortable. You already know who are doing what, and you can keep that key papers in a specific folder based on the name of that particular researcher who has published many papers on that area. Yeah, I mentioned here, use mind map. I've shown you. You can use table. Okay, you can use pictures, post-it notes. In the past, people use it post-it notes. Okay, but now I think post-it note even now is become electronics. You can put it paste on your PDF or whatever works for you. But keep tracking on relationship between known and unknown. Okay, you must know what has been known, what has been done in the research, and this is like finding a missing puzzle. Okay, missing puzzle. No one has ever thought, okay, to research. Okay, again, for master project, maybe not necessarily be totally new. Could be just extension of other work. The others have tested, for example, certain parameters. Now you are extending the experiment to investigate another parameter. For example, the engine combustion just now. Then you could be investigating the lubrication aspect of that engine, for example. Okay, lubrication. Okay, so finding problem based on gap analysis. Okay, you need to identify the gap analysis. Okay, so when you choose your own problem, you will need to brainstorm the ideas, okay, read background, focus. I think the same thing, we just summarize here. These useful keywords, it's very important, useful keywords. When you search information, you need to search based on keyword. But again, be flexible, because you may not get the result based on your understanding, okay? But you may try to see what others have used in their own publication. Okay, define the problem, focus area. Okay, and then after that you research and read about more about your problem. Okay, read more, get more, and you have to formulate your thesis statement, okay, or research statement, what we call it statement of problem. Okay, statement of problem. Okay, statement of problem. Okay, select good problem is not easy. Okay, I think you can read this. Before select problem, make sure you should know what your final research objective. Okay, so you need to link that to the objective. Okay, we will discuss more later on this is research objective is related to the research design. So when you select your problem, okay, you should know what should be your final research objective. What is the objective of your research? What you want to produce. Another way, after you have done a lot of reading, you may want to put in terms of charting what are the progress in the area. Okay, this is just an example, again, coming from industrial engineering, but you can do the same. Okay, you can see that what are the things that people are progressing. It could be in terms of performance, and you can chart in terms of years, how this area have developed. Okay, from 1980s until 2000. And now to 2020. Who have done the research in this area? Okay, so you can plot. If you are able to do this, it's going to be very good because you know that this is actually the latest in this where you are doing that research. Okay, this is where we are what we call it. We charting the research trend. Okay, so I call it advances. Okay, advances leading to something. You know. Maybe you can say advances leading to hybrid technology in automotive or in combustion or, you know, whatever area of your choice. Classification of research issues. Okay, this is also something that you need to do later on. After you classify your research areas, you need also to classify research issues. This only can be done when you are reading your journal papers. Okay, when you are using your journal paper. You may not be able to read a complete one at this stage, but when you are really going for your master project, okay, you should be able to see what are the research issues. Okay, some people are looking, for example, I go to the bottom here, I classify the techniques, I classify the input, the approach, and so on. And then the issues, okay, can go to more detail. Slide. This is summary what we have discussed. Okay. So background theory, broad review, specific theory, or focus review is okay. Is try to explain what others have done. Okay, what method they have used, and what are the strength and limitation of previous work. So the reasoning for you to do literature review is first is to get familiar what others have done, classification of area, identify the trend and direction that I showed just now. There is trend and direction for the research issues, and this is important, evidence of not repeating what others have done. Okay? While doing literature review, you are confirmed that nobody else have done exactly the same that you do. You may do some similarities, but at least you have a portion of it, of your study are different. Okay, so also to guide in you formulating the statement of problem, okay, which is what we call it problem formulation, and also as guide in selection of techniques and tools. Okay, so literature review is very, very important. Okay, very, very important at the beginning of research. Even while you are interpreting your finding, also require referring back to your literature. A good starting for you is to find a review paper. Okay, some researchers have done a review paper. Okay, on research issues. Okay, for example, in my area, I published this when I was doing. This was 2000, 20 years ago. issues in quality engineering research. Okay, so you could also produce similar paper in your area. What are the maybe you can say recent issues? Okay, recent issues in whatever your area. Okay, from there you not only producing assignment, but you also produce something that useful for others to read. Okay, try to aim for that. Okay, if you can, by doing this research methodology, if you can come up with a paper on review paper, that will be very good. Okay, you have to pay attention. For example, what are the needs? Okay, what are the previous research that people have done? Okay, and then you can see also what are the gaps. Okay, so when you are reading, you can see that the wording that has been used, okay, by the writer. For example, it says here the need. Okay, the need is consider countless constraints in order to assist design and planning engineers to do their complex and time consuming. Okay, the need. What's the need? Need a better to transfer such kind of task to computer program. So based on that wording, you can know that's the need. Previous work, and then if we report what as others have done. Okay, in recent years, see recent years here, okay, meaning that he's explaining what others have done. There have been many efforts, okay, in applying individual intelligence technique such as knowledge base, blah 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 blah. Okay, so he put the name of previous researcher. You can go at the end of the paper to see more detail. Okay, what actually these people have done. Maybe in that particular journal, it's just briefly summarized. And then from there, you can see the gap. What is the gap? You can see however. Okay, try to find this word, however. However, these methods are mostly a separate way. Still suffer many constraints. So it's telling the gap now. Okay, so what's the limitation of previous work? Okay, this in terms of inaccuracy, in terms of simplicity, in terms of inflexibility. Okay, so when you read that, you can get the understanding. Okay, also this is another example. However, see, common word being used. However, this discussion now. If you have any question, okay, can I have question now? If you have anything to clarify, or you have done something, right? You have done something based on what I asked you to do.
Good day, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, this is Barry Bribe. I just want to ask some question concerning the area I'm interested in. I don't know if you can give me an advice on that.
Okay.
It's actually under renewable energy.
Renewable energy, okay.
Yes, yes, yes. And the research areas, sub-research areas are like 6. Let me say we have improving storage, renewable energy, stabilizing grids, concentrating solar power. So I want to concentrate on these improving storage technologies for renewable energy.
Okay.
That's my area of interest. So my because I'm trying to see, is it more of like review? Maybe you want to look at the trend of storage technology has been going on for long, and you look at where they have reached, and you maybe make a suggestion on what should be done next. Is it going to be? Is there going to be incorporating design in this kind of studies, or it's more of a like broad review?
Okay, if you have identified the area as renewable energy as your sub area, right?
Yes,
I mean the area that you have chosen, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Renewable energy will be the area that you have chosen. You can create a classification tree under this.
All right.
Okay, because if you take a higher level of the classification, that's not needed anymore because you already clear. You want to do renewable energy.
Yes, yes.
Isn't it? So under renewable energy, it could be I don't know. It could be solar energy. Is it under renewable?
No, I have already. The one I want to concentrate on is this improving storage facilities for renewable energy. Improving the storage.
You already go to the branch of it.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Okay. So if you have got the branch, you have to reverse back.
Okay.
before you get that. Yeah, maybe you already familiar because of your working experience, or maybe you got it. Based on your reading, you found that yes, this is actually the exact area that you want. Okay, if you have found that, I think that's what you are saying now. You already found that specific area, isn't it?
Yes, exactly.
So just go back one step behind. Okay, just come up with classification 3 to show where is the area that you're interested now in the bigger perspective.
Okay.
Because for example, you decided to come to UTM. Okay, you don't want to go anywhere, but you still need to have a map. Okay, what are the university in engineering in Malaysia? You can put University Malaya, University Science, but for sure you go to UTM. But you need to show that what are alternative available, so that this is one of the what we call it to show where you belongs to. Understand? To locate. To locate your area in a bigger perspective of the domain. You still need to have that classification tree, even though now you already got that specific focus area. You need to tell others, because others will not know that you are doing in the storage area, because storage for a new reader, it can be anything. It could be storage of raw material, it could be storage of gas, tank storage, but now you say storage for renewable energy. So now you go to that renewable energy, what are the area in that, and show one of the area is that storage.
Right.
Oh, you got it?
I do.
Okay, so I want everyone, okay, for the next class to show the classification tree. Okay, classification tree, and where is that you think that you have interest in that classification tree, like the one that I showed just now. Okay, is it everyone clear? You need to show and share with. Before that, just send it. I will open in e-learning for the submission of that classification tree. Okay, and then later on we will share with the class, so that maybe others can comment and give input.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
So from now on, I think you already know how to search information and develop a classification tree for the research area. Okay, that's one thing. And another one is I show you just now the trend leading to the problem, right? The trend. Okay, so also show the trend. Okay, when the research in that area has started. Okay, if you're not able to complete it financially, no problem, but start looking into it. The research in the storage area, for example, who has started it? When it was started? Was it in the 1980s? And then what is the status now? You got what I mean? I show you just now a diagram showing
yes, I see trend.
Yeah, trend in that research, so that we don't do a research which is obsolete. Okay, this is one way to confirm that the research that you are selecting now is still current. Okay. So we want to see anybody else doing this in 2020. Okay, if the research is still active, okay, so you can confirm that this is still relevant. You remember that one thing that I mentioned just now, it should be relevant. Yeah, the research that you choosing should be relevant. Yeah, so if you are familiar maybe with some of the lecturers in your area, you may approach them, because you read their profile and you see that he has the expertise, and you can approach them. What are possible area in this area? You are taking research methodology now. Maybe he can suggest to you. Okay, so that also can. It's up to you. You can talk to others. You can talk to your friends. Refer to to other researchers. Yeah, refer to other.
I was looking at the drag reduction in wingtip vortices, and so I found a few papers on Scopus as well. as well.
Okay, very good. Okay, so now you are able to to prepare that classification tree, right?
Yeah.
Okay, if you think that your area that you have chosen is very specialized already, you step back one step behind to see what are related area, because the purpose is, as I mentioned, is to locate that small area in a broader perspective, so that when the reader read, okay, your literature review, they will know that you are belong to which branch of aeronautics, for example.
Okay, doctor. Yeah, understood.
For production planning.
Okay.
And I found a paper about data-driven approach to diagnosing bottleneck for maintenance.
Okay, so you are able to come up with the classification tree now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So okay, for everyone, please for the next week, I need you to provide that classification tree based on your area. Okay. So one thing is evidence of familiarity of broad area. That's why we are coming up with this classification tree. Evidence of familiarity. Okay, you have chosen one small area, but you need to show that you are familiar with a broad area, at least the area related to that chosen area for your own research. Okay, and then try to trace back. Okay, who has started the research in that particular area? Okay, providing what do you call it, a trend, okay, research trend in that area, and where is the trend now, where it is moving. For example, some research focusing on univariate, one-dimensional, but now they go for multi-objective, for example, multi-objective optimization. This is another area. Maybe some area become integrated. Okay, previously it was traditional approach, now it's integrated with artificial intelligence, for example. Okay, you can see that trend is happening.
Logistics provider selection,
Okay.
using multi-criteria decision analysis.
Okay. So this is very specific area already. Okay.
Yeah.
So you need to come up with what are related area to this area before you, meaning that you have to step
I
back.
think the bigger brother for this one will be multi-criteria decision analysis.
Okay.
Then I think it will be statistics.
Okay. Actually, there is another step of doing it. One is related classification in the problem area. Okay. Another is classification in solution approach. Okay. So what you were saying just now, multi-criteria decision making, actually is already solution area. Okay. Remember that there is a problem, there is solution. Okay. So your problem is related to selection of what do you say just now? Selection of supplier.
Green logistics provider.
Green logistic provider is actually supplier. Provider, isn't it?
No. Logistic provider is not supplier. It's a distributor.
A distributor. Okay. The distributor selection. Okay. The distributor selection. So what are the area related to that distributor? So okay, it is a green supply chain basically. It's a green supply chain. Okay, green supply chain. What are related sub area under that? So one of the area is selection of the what do you call this? That logistic that logistic services, the provider.
Yeah.
The logistic provider is one of the area under supply chain. Okay. So after that, you are looking how to select them, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that selection, there will be another classification tree of that classification techniques. I mean techniques of selection. Okay. So now you already decide that you are going to use multi-criteria, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. But before that, there will be also other alternative techniques. Okay. So in later stage, okay, next week we're going to see that you have to come up with the classification of methodology of solving that selection of that logistic provider. In your case, in your case.
So the main circle for my classification tree will be supply chain, right?
Yeah, the supply, you are coming from supply chain area. So what are the sub area in the supply chain? So one of the branch will be
distribution.
Yeah, distribution and that logistic, what you call provider just now.
Yeah.
Okay, and that is one classification group of trees, and another one will be the techniques of solving the problem. The techniques. Okay, it could be multi-criteria, it could be meta-heuristic, it could be MILP, and many others. You know. So chart showing the trend in the research. Okay, maybe I show this again briefly. This is advances leading to something, you know, depend on your area. So you can see who has done that. Okay, maybe of course this chart require you a lot of time to come up with, at least for a beginning. Tentatively, you should be able to know who has done this research, when it was started, and what is the latest status now. You can see whether it's relevant or not by looking at anybody doing it now in 2020.
Yes.
When is the latest in this research area? When is the latest work? The Scopus you can search in Scopus. Anybody is doing in this area currently. Okay, and then you can go in 2019. Okay, for example, 2019. Anybody doing that? Yeah, at least I say try to focus on the last 5 years, for example. So you can see that who are doing in 2015, 2016. What are the issues they have addressed? So if you find some paper in 2020, meaning that this research is still relevant. So if you can plot, for example, these are related to this progress, you know. So meaning that this to support that your research is still current. If you find that nobody has done in 2020, there is nobody has done in 2019. 2018 nobody has done, meaning that research already saturated and no more new issues.
Yes, I understand that, but my question is, how can I approve that for you, my teacher?
Well, in your area, for example, this is review paper. Yeah, a review paper on the research issues in your area. Okay, for example, I have done this with my student in the past. It was published 10 years ago. 2010, issues in development of artificial neural networks for control chart pattern recognition. So in this paper, we discuss what others have done, what are the issues addressed by others, and what are research gaps. So this is another shortcut for you to find the research issues because somebody already have done the review.
So I will looking for review papers about my field.
Yes, try to find it. That will be shortcut for you to identify where is the gap.
Okay.